It's time to make a transfer on a defender. And what am I doing without Erling Haaland in my team? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are good and you're looking forward to Game Week 5. In today's video, we're going to look at my transfer options for my team ahead of Game Week 5. And we're going to talk about that plan that I've got for Erling Haaland. Of course, I very nearly bought him in Game Week 4. I've decided to stick with Ollie Watkins. We won't talk about that one. And the plan is still Haaland in 6. So let me show you how I'm going to get there. But first, let's just touch on last week. And it was a dreadful week. But it's still so tight. I don't really worry too much about rank at this stage. Like, you can get 10, 20 points on the field and leapfrog 3 million in rank. Like, I think I'm okay with the numbers. They are scary at the moment. But points for Munoz and Pedro Porro. Murillo with the 3 is fine. Salah coming in clutch at the end. A bit lucky there, his owners. Wirtz continues to disappoint. Reinders missed that one-on-one and was so close. João Pedro picking up big points. But Ollie Watkins, along with Wirtz, is a huge disappointment for me. And I look at it and think, Gianni, you have to be a little bit more ruthless. I had the opportunity to go to Haaland in Game Week 4. I had the free transfer. I had the money in the bank. And I said, no, I'm going to keep with Watkins. I'm going to move to Haaland in 6 because I didn't like that Arsenal fixture. But he's just gone and got big points versus Man United. So I can only blame myself on that one. Loads of you guys commented on my team selection to go with option 2. And I went with option 3. If you are enjoying this video, guys, do hit those buttons, like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. And look, let's talk Erling Haaland, because this is why he's coming into my team. There's a lot getting to him in Game Week 6 with a free hit. I don't want him free hit. I want him forever. Like, Erling Haaland needs to come into this team. So far this season, we've seen 2 goals against Wolves. He did blank versus Spurs. He scored versus Brighton. Then we saw what he did for against Moldova, 5 goals, 2 assists, but then 2 goals again versus Man United. 12 goal contributions in 5 games. He is on fire. He absolutely is on fire. And I want him in my team. And the fixtures for Man City, like, I know I can go without him in Game Week 5. I do not expect Erling Haaland to get much change at all, if any. Even playing the way he is against Arsenal at the Emirates, that is the hardest fixture of the Premier League calendar for Haaland. And we know what Arteta does against top teams. He's very good at keeping them out. But then come Game Week 6, it's must-have territory. It's triple captain territory. Haaland versus Burnley, yes, please. But if you free hit him in, you're not going to have him for that run. And the run looks good. Brentford, Everton, Aston Villa, like, he's going to be scoring goals for fun. And I think there's a world in which many will sack off Salah in 6 to get to Haaland. And Salah has Palace, Chelsea, Man United, Brentford. Not the easiest of runs, not a hard run either. But the way Salah's playing and the way Haaland's playing, it looks like I, and many of you guys watching it, will be in the same situation that went Salah over Haaland. Looks like we backed the wrong horse. I still think it's very possible to get to a team with both. I think both is the optimal play, because I think there's enough good enablers and I think there's enough good defenders, and the defender points we've just seen. The Saturday games, 16 teams in action, 8 of them kept clean sheets. The defenders picking up DEFCON as well. I think for overall structure, we can still get to both. But look, let's have a look at my team as we're set. This is my bust team for Game Week 5. I do have Murillo flagged. I think there's a good chance Murillo doesn't make it. Murillo therefore needs to be a transfer out. I need to ditch my Nottingham Forest defenders at some point anyway, right? So if I'm going to do that, I look at Nottingham Forest and I go, great, I've got 2 good fixtures now. Let's hold them. And then as soon as they're done, so Burnley, Sunderland, as soon as they're done from there, I sell them ahead of Newcastle Game Week 7. So if I have to sell Murillo a week early, that's fine. But who do I sell Murillo to, and how does it form part of the wider plan? Well, let me give you the options first, and I'll tell you why we're looking at a certain price point. So look, first and foremost, if I can sell him to anyone, I'm looking at Gabriel, because I know in Game Week 7, I want to get to Arsenal players in general, right? I know I want Gyökeres, a defender, or 2. So why not just get there early? Because we keep saying, oh, Arsenal got tough fixtures, just wait till Game Week 7. Well, in 4 games this season, they've conceded 1 goal, and it was a Szoboszlai worldie. And they've had tough fixtures. They've played Liverpool, they've played Forest. Like, yes, Man City, Newcastle is hard, but I still fancy Gabriel for a clean sheet in those 2 games. He is also so close to scoring a couple of times against Forest. He's getting on the end of set pieces again. A goal is coming. He even picked up DEFCON against Forest and bonus points as well, I think. So Gabriel is top of my wish list, but money might play a part. Remember that Arsenal fixtures, this is filtered by difficulty on Scout. So they're about a third of the way from the bottom. Man City, Newcastle, but then in 7, it's a sea of green. It's West Ham, it's Fulham, it's Palace, and the theme continues. And guys, this is a fantasy football scout ticker filtered by difficulty. If you want to check Scout out and all of the good stuff in their members area, there's a QR code that will be on screen throughout this video. On the side there. So look, Gabriel would be great, but I might need to go lower than Gabriel to fit to my overall strategy. Let me explain. When we look at my bus team, let me explain what I'm doing here, right? So I've got millions in the bank. I can go Watkins to Haaland straight away, but I want Ollie Watkins for Sunderland and I want Ollie Watkins for Burnley, and that's 2 of his next 3. So my plan is to sell Mark Guiu to Haaland. Now I can do that. Wirtz has to go to an enabler, so let's say a 4.5, and then one of my defenders needs to come down at least 500,000. So Murillo to a 5 or 4.9 or below, Porro to a 4.9 or below, or Williams to a 4.4 or below. Murillo is the most obvious, right? Because I know I need to sell him anyway. So Murillo to a 4.9 or below this week ahead of Game Week 5 could work. Yes, I could go straight to Gabriel, but actually it might make sense to go lower, and then ahead of Game Week 6, I can go Wirtz down to Josh King, and I can go Mark Guiu to Erling Haaland. That looks good. Now you'll be like, oh, Gianni, you've still got Ollie Watkins. No, because in Game Week 7, I go Ollie Watkins to Gyökeres, or Game Week 8. Like that Watkins is the Gyökeres spot. So if we're going budget defenders, and we're not going Gabriel, where do we look? Well, Joachim Anderson is amazing. Like, he's so good for DEFCON. He got 10 points versus Leeds. He's good for bonus. He's always got a little bit of goal threat. A lot of centre-backs do. But Fulham are legit good. The only problem with Fulham is I don't love their fixtures. So when we go to Fulham's fixtures, they're right at the bottom of the ticker there with Crystal Palace, Brentford, Aston Villa, Bournemouth, then it's Arsenal, Newcastle. He will pick up DEFCON in some of these games. I think he's had DEFCON in 2 or 3 of his 4 so far. So I like Anderson, but the fixtures turn me off a little bit. And I have realised with my team and with the points that we're seeing, I need more DEFCON players because there's some cheat codes. And I think if I'm wildcarding, someone like Anderson would be in. But the biggest cheat code of centre-backs so far, they've got 100% records. They are 2. Can anyone guess the 2 centre-backs? Drop a comment with your guess. The 2 centre-backs that have got 100% DEFCON so far this season, 4 from 4. When you're doing that, guys, do be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for hitting subscribe, so many of you, by the way. We're trying to chase all sorts of milestones on this channel, and I appreciate your support. The answer was Tarkowski. Some of you may have got that. And the other one is a bit more underrated, Senesi. Senesi has picked up DEFCON in all 4, and he's doing it by some distance. Like, I think against Brighton, he got 12, right? You need 10 as a centre-back. But in some of the other games, he had like 15s and 16s. He is clearly getting DEFCON every game. Now, that's not going to happen every game. But if he does it in 3/4 of his games or 60, 70% of his games, you're absolutely laughing because clean sheets will come as well. Now, he got booked versus Brighton, and he didn't get a clean sheet versus Brighton. So you're not buying him off a return, which is a good thing because not a huge amount of managers are looking at Senesi. He went up to 4.6 because of his 14 points versus Spurs. But you look at the fixtures coming up. I like the Newcastle fixture because they've got Barcelona in the Champions League. They're going to be a little bit tired, I think, off the back of the Champions League games. Then it's Leeds away. Leeds are so shot shy. Fulham at home, well, Fulham aren't great in attack. And then Crystal Palace Forest. Like, I just know Senesi is going to get bags of points. And he feels like a no-brainer move. Like, the floor each week feels like 4 points because he just gets DEFCON. And he's got goal threat. He's good at set pieces. Bournemouth are going places. Bournemouth are in a good position. And Senesi, Huijsen last year mopped up in DEFCON. Senesi's playing that same role, just the one that has to go for all the aerial stuff. So look, I like Senesi very much at the moment. I think that's the most favoured transfer I have. So Murillo out, Senesi in. It then gives me that plan moving forward. We also need to touch on another player that's at Bournemouth. And that is Semenyo. Again, like, fair play to Semenyo owners. You absolutely deserve your haul. It's been coming. He didn't get it against Spurs, but he missed a couple of big chances. He only got 6 versus Wolves where he got an assist. He missed a couple of big chances. The fixtures are there. The penalties are now there too. If you're on him and you're one of the 17%, you're absolutely laughing. I'm not there, and I'm gutted because I don't now have an easy route to him. I've chosen a different route where I went Cunha and then Harvey Elliott, and that's allowing me to go Guiu to Haaland, which I think will be really cool. But maybe I'm missing too many points on Semenyo, and I do need to give that thought this week. I'm not going to lie, guys. There is 10% of me that is thinking wildcard. Now, if I had wildcard this week, Semenyo's definitely in it. And obviously Haaland's in it. And I think I could maybe go without Mo Salah. I don't know. Let's see. I need to weigh up a Salah and a no Salah wildcard. But that's where I'm at, guys. Fair play if you have Semenyo. I don't think I can make him work in my team. So when we go back to my team and my bust team, it might be another week of slightly suffering, annoyingly. Like, I knew in game week 4 I was suffering against all the wildcarders and free hitters. In game week 5, I feel like I might have to do a little bit of the same. Like, if I get a grey arrow, am I happy? Maybe. Maybe it's not too bad. But come game week 6, you got Haaland in for free, Janny. You got Senesi in place. You're happy with your midfield. You've got Salah and Haaland as a team. Most had to get that team have to wildcard. And I still feel like that could be the play. So yeah, moving forward, I'm actually pretty upbeat. It's been another bad week with a red arrow, but I look at my team and I look at the money I've got in the bank and the fact that I've got a route to Erling Haaland without using chips. And the chips are going to be really powerful later on. Like, we're all looking at the fixtures going, there's going to be other swings. Like game week 7, 8, you can jump on Arsenal. But later than that, game week 12, 13, there's another swing. Around AFCON, we get 5 free transfers. But maybe we go into the sort of Christmas fixtures going, I can free hit, I can wildcard into the new year. If I can use these, if I can be smart with my planning and use chips later, I'm very, very happy. So I think that's where I'm going. Guys, thank you for watching. I'll be out with a wildcard video. And also, you guys playing Champions League fantasy? Because if you are, Champions League fantasy, I might be dropping a team selection in the next 24 hours. See you later. Bye-bye.